Today is March 24th, 2020, so you all know that date. We are in the midst of 2-3 weeks into a pandemic. We wrote a little bit about Don't Panic a couple weeks ago. If you haven't looked at that blog, I suggest you do. I hope you do. I know there's so much going on in the internet right now, and I don't want anyone to feel they're inundated with everybody preaching to them what they need to do. And I think the majority of our customers kind of have a sense of not to be stressed out, and we don't want you to be stressed out. So Benedetta actually has an essential 3. And I feel, as I've written before, that this is a public service announcement, that I made all of these products numerous years ago, decades for many. For the Sacred Soap, probably about 18 years old. I'd have to go into the archives to find out. The clearing spray was created just prior to 2000. It was actually made to clear your hands out for practitioners that were doing certain essential oil therapies. And we found that it was an incredible hand sanitizer. I had little kids at the time, and they definitely were always infecting one another. So we used it on our doorknobs, on our hands. And I actually developed it because in practice, somebody would be using it quite often. And I developed it to not dry or create any dysfunction in the beneficial flora of the hands, and to be able to use frequently. And then, of course, one of our greatest health aids, systemic health aids that we produce here at Benedetta is our Seaweed Bath. So I've been pitching this a lot, writing about it, and I felt like it was time to come before you, no makeup, just me, B and Julia, and just talk to you about why these are essential. Our soap, and I'm going to show you the soap if you haven't used it, does not have an emulsifier in it. It is 100% botanical. That means it doesn't have a synthetic lye. And what I mean by that is LYE, which is the chemical saponifier in all soaps. There may be more gentler forms of soaps. I know people are afraid of sodium laurels and some of these chemical soaps being drying, but we all know what it's like in the last 2 weeks to be out and about using public bathrooms and using their soap, what that does to your hands. So we felt like this was definitely an essential 3. Our soap needs to be a little bit shaken, and basically by just opening it up, this is an empty bottle, but just going like this, you're actually emulsifying it together. You don't have to do a really heavy shake, and some people actually prefer to have a pump on their bottle. But every once in a while, just do a mild shake so that it all incorporates. We purposely don't use petrochemicals or any kind of thick gelling agents. I know that's the status quo. I know that's what most soaps look like. We don't do it. We don't need to. So this is a little different. This is what the soap looks like. You could see how thin it is. A little bit goes a long way. So you're going to just put a little soap in your hand, and you're not going to be using a bowl like this. Get a little water. I guess I should have put water in first. Okay. So that was way more water than I needed. I should have just gotten my hands wet. So I don't know if this is as great as it can be, but you can see, that actually gave me some big bubbles. I was about to tell you how little the bubbles are, but I don't know if you can really see how creamy that is. I mean, it feels creamy because it has naturally occurring shea butter in the black soap that we break down with local botanical flower hydrosols. Hydrosol is another word for water. We purify it, and we add some other real goodies to it to help purify as well. The essentials we use in it are naturally antiviral and antimicrobial. So you're going to wash your hands for your 20 seconds, but it shouldn't dry your hands out the way typical conventional soaps are doing. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse myself and keep going. Okay. So you get an idea. We wanted, without making such a mess, we wanted to be able to show you, actually what the product looks like when you use it. And that's something we haven't done before. So I highly suggest it. This is actually new packaging. That's a makeshift label. We're waiting for our labels. I'd like to just speak a little bit about that because, as we would have it, and as you can imagine, the supply chain is slow on all levels. Benedetta is considered an essential company, and many of the label companies, can companies, bottle companies, pump companies are also considered essential, but they're slowed down right now. So we have gone ahead so that you can actually get soap and just created our own label here in-house while we're waiting for this label to arrive. And that could be several weeks. We're not sure. We're hoping any day. They keep saying any day, any day, any day. But you could still get your soap. So that's what it may look like in the next week or two. And we've also changed from the 8 ounce to the 16 ounce by popular demand to have a larger soap. So it's back, guys, and here it is. This is one of the only products that we use plastic. This is a BPA-free, of course, plastic. We've thought about putting glass in the shower, and we just really don't want to do that. Not now until we can figure out something else. We've looked at cardboards and resins. If you have an idea, let us know. But for now, here it is, guys, and it works. So I highly suggest our Sacred soap. Secondly, I want to talk about our clearing spray. Again, I talked a little bit about it. I would only do 1, maybe 2 pumps, both hands. You don't need to overdo it. Make sure you get the center of your hands. You could also use this spray for doorknobs, keyboards. I usually spray a paper towel before I put it on my keyboard, but it's a fine mist, so it usually, doesn't hurt the keyboard, but I don't know for sure if people are overusing it. This is a product that is in a base of botanical alcohol. So this is not isopropyl myristate or isopropyl alcohol, and there is a difference. So they're saying 60% or more of isopropyl or isopropyl myristate, which are petrochemicals. We are a clean company and we don't want petrochemicals. And I actually created this 20 years ago because I didn't want petrochemicals. And I wanted something that would dry quickly and not over dry the surface of the hands. So when I created this 20 years ago, there virtually was not one hand sanitizer that I knew of at Whole Foods or any store that I was aware of. In fact, we were approached in 2004, so 4 years after creating this, by Queer Eye for the Straight Guy on the Bravo network, asking about our clearing spray, and they wound up using it for an episode, which we also have posted on our website. It's kind of cute to watch. The packaging is different. Packaging is always changing, and we are in the process of most likely changing this packaging as well. We've been inundated with orders for this, and I want you guys to know, I give you this backstory because we are not gouging prices. We've actually decreased by $2. There are biodynamic and certified organic ingredients throughout this product. So our price is a little more, but it usually lasts longer. I know now it isn't for people. They're using it everywhere. So we want to keep that price for you. I don't know if we'll ever change it. This is a 1 ounce, so we've decided to create a refill for you. And this is the package we have right now. Again, it's empty, so we'll probably do something like this in the interim. We're working as fast as we can to get a label on here, and by the time you see this, we probably will have it, but again, supply chain, don't know. But this will be just under 3 ounces, just about 10 milliliters under 3 ounces. To be exact, it's an 80 milliliter bottle, which is 2.7 ounces. So that should really be helpful. It'll probably run somewhere between $30 and $32. That's exactly what this would be times at the lower price. We're seeing people buying 10 and 20 bottles, and we just want to make it easier for you. So this will make it easier. So we should have this soon. You can place your orders whenever you want. You know, we'll do a makeshift label. I want it in the bottle. Today's Tuesday, it should be in the bottle. By Thursday, place your order, we'll get it to you. So there's that. And then lastly, again, I want to talk about our Seaweed Bath and the difference between taking our Seaweed Bath and maybe taking Epsom salts, which I think is great. I think Epsom salts, you know, magnesium sulfate is great for relaxing your muscles. I think it's wonderful. I'm not here to all the companies selling billions of containers of Epsom salts for $2, you know, to put them under. Or to say anything negative. This is a game changer. This is different. This is not a bunch of seaweeds alone that have a fragrance of essential oil in it, and I'll show you what you get. So basically, you get a half a pound of seaweeds. These are micronized seaweeds. I don't think I need to open it up to show you what it is. This will turn kind of a dark khaki green in the water. Yes, it does wash away, so you don't have to worry about your bathtubs. You might have a ring if you just, you know, and some residue at the bottom, but if you take your shower head and wipe it down, it should leave pretty quickly. It's not going to stain your tub. There are about 3 different sea vegetables in this micronized seaweed. So when you're putting it in, and we give you a shell. Now this shell, they're natural, so they come in different sizes. I would do, for this size shell, about 3 heaping scoops into the bath water. And then I usually splash it. I have a shower head that you can take off the shower head, and I usually do that to help it emulsify into the water so that it's about the consistency of flour. So you can imagine putting it in, it does clump. I took the bath, I'm taking it every day now. COVID-19 doesn't like heat, we all know that. People are going out in the sun and trying to warm up. We all have always suggested you do this at about 104 degrees. We run at 98, right? So you want it hotter than you, not lukewarm. The hotter you could get it, the better. I also suggest that you bring in about 12 to 16 ounces of room temperature water, not ice water, room temperature water, and sip throughout. That really helps when you're detoxing and sweating in the water to be drinking something. You know, you're detoxing and then you're replenishing. You're detoxing, replenishing. It's also a really great time to just de-stress, stop the panic, take your deep breaths, because there's a lot of panic in the signal on the planet right now. And so this is such a transformative bath, and not just because you're taking a hot bath. Like if you're taking, you know, a salt bath, Epsom salt, and it's hot, that's going to be very therapeutic. The French call it balneotherapy. You know, baths at high temperatures, you know, detoxing. That's still going to be helpful. But this, along with the tonifying and strengthening effects and all the minerals and trace minerals and seaweeds, you're also getting a therapeutic dose of essential oils. So this isn't just flavoring it or scenting it so that you have, and that there's, you know, the olfactory kicks in, you smell something that makes you feel euphoric. I'm not saying it isn't therapeutic, but these oils, these 6, 7 essential oils, really are developed as a synergy to help gently detox. And all of them at some level or another is antimicrobial. So that detox is to gently help remove and assist. And it also, I believe, smells really good too. So if your bathroom is near your bedroom will smell like this. So I hope that the majority of you love the way that it smells. They are certified organic and biodynamic essential oils. Benedetta, myself especially, really looks at not just the agriculture of a botanical, but how it grows, where it grows, the chemistry behind those oils, the healing modality behind those oils, but how they're processed. Just because the agriculture is biodynamic doesn't mean that that botanical isn't sitting after distillation in 100-degree heat, sitting outside of a barn. I pay attention to this. I ask those questions. When we receive our raw materials, they go into glass. So there's a process for us to keep our oils and our raw materials energetic. So we give you a 5 milliliter little scoop that you're going to pour in and then run under the bath water. So these essential oils are actually in an emulsifier, and that emulsifier will be miscible in the water. I do not suggest that anybody ever put essential oils straight into your bath water. They are not miscible in water, and they will sit at the top and burn your neck. And even if they are oils like lavender oil, for instance, Helichrysum metallicum, and many others, you can use directly on your skin and usually doesn't cause ill effect. But there's a process behind this. You know, even this little bit is considered a therapeutic dose in bath water. And the combination of the aromatherapy, the balneotherapy, and the thalassotherapy, which is the use of seaweeds, you're really getting an incredible immune strengthening product. We've said this online. You can read about this product. I'm constantly talking, and I think there's even a video on how alkalizing this product is. And alkalinity is something in short supply. You know, stress makes us acid. Our food makes us acid. Our binge eating, because we're stressed out, is filled with acid. So, you know, we really need to be in that mindful place, I think, at this time, and really support each other during this stress. But above all, keep ourselves alkaline and healthy. I find that this bath can shorten illness. It certainly can shorten duration of illness, but it can also ward off illness. And I've had this experience. I am not at all suggesting that this is going to cure your COVID if you get it, but it could actually strengthen your overall terrain and prevent, you know, illness by strengthening your immunity. And so I highly suggest that we start that process of strengthening our immunity right now. There's certain things that we have talked about online. Go into our news feed and you'll see some of the articles written. Hopefully we'll do a podcast in the next couple weeks just to check in, but continue with those, you know, the Defender 5 mushrooms from realmushroom.com. You know, I mean, they've been out of stock, but that's a really great way to get those immune strengthening mushrooms in you in a powdered form. It's a little bitter, but I think they're great. They're miscible in water with a little whisk, and you're getting 5 incredible mushrooms that help strengthen, again, your immunity and your overall terrain. Probiotics are really good for your gut, lower gut, upper GI, really important right now. The majority of our immune system lives in our gut. So just be mindful of your nutritional supplements and what you're taking. Colloidal silver, in particular the nose sprays, which are also here where we are in short supply. So if you could buy the big one and put it in a nose activator, then that would be great. There's all sorts of things, and we'll keep abreast of it. Lysine is a really good antiviral, and then there's some homeopathics, and it goes on and on. But keep yourself in check. So until next time, bye everyone, and thank you.